And this first possession is going to be a big thing. But the thing is, Indiana, they have to be wise about how much they're going to use Chesky. She's got 4 fouls. She's sitting on the bench right now, and Bargesser's in her place.
Meister looking for the pass. Garzon's going to take a 3, and it falls! A big-time 3 for Yarden Garzon, her second of the night.
Well, if there's ever a time for her to get hot, it's right now. Struggled in the first half, had the first one fall in the third quarter, and not showing any hesitation to shoot the basketball.
Tie ball game, 51-51. Here's Ralston, sends it out for a mid-range jumper. Buchanan too strong. Indiana with the rebound. Moore McNeil sends it to Bargesser. Bargesser back out once again to Garzon. Garzon mid-range jumper, way too short. Everybody trying to fight for it. Now here come the Eagles.
That should have been a double dribble. Sandvik was motioning for it. Ralston picked it up with both hands.
Ralston will take a 3, and she sinks it. Big time shot. Southern Indiana now up by 3 once again.
Well, Ralston had an off game in their last one. Their game in Puerto Rico, they played Lemoyne, only had 2 points. Now up to 9 in this one.
Bargesser with the mid-range, swirls in and out. It comes down to possession after possession for each team now in this fourth quarter. Who's going to take advantage? Buchanan creates the foul.
If you can't get around him, go right at him. Good move by Buchanan. And Meister's only her first, so she's done a really good job of playing physical, but not out of the realm of the rules. And not someone who fouls a ton is Meister.
Buchanan's first trip to the line. She misses her first.
This is one of my favorite new traditions. This Martha the Mop Lady, who is has movable arms. One of my favorite things about the student section that they've brought in this year.
She misses her first, makes the second. So now it's 55-51.
Clearly undistracted by the Mop Lady.
8:23 left on the clock. Another press by Southern Indiana. They're going to break it. Alexis Bargesser comes up through. Bargesser out to Moore McNeil. Now up top to Sandvik. Meister hands it off to Moore McNeil. Indiana shot clock winding down. 5 seconds left to get a shot off. Moore McNeil, baseline jumper. Pretty finish.
Whew. Little hesitation one way, go the other way.
55-53, still a 2-point lead for Southern Indiana. They've led for the majority of the evening, over 18 minutes with the lead. Saunders passes it down low. Rayleigh doesn't get the finish. Bargesser trying to create some space. Interesting lineup for Indiana, considering they have both Bargesser and Moore McNeil on the floor. Two are the best ball handlers on this squad. They're gonna get a whistle.
Again, on whoever's guarding Meister down low. This is clearly a point of emphasis to get Meister off of her spot. And I mean, we talked about it at the start of the second half. It's so clear to me, and I think a lot of people who watch her game, she's learned so much playing under Mackenzie Holmes for as long as she did.
Maddie Webb is actually going to get called for the foul. So
right.
She'll go to the bench for her fourth. Chloe Gannon will come in her place. Outside, Hannah Sandvik, she's going to send a three, and she makes it. Big time shot. Indiana now up by 1. Under 7 to go here in the fourth quarter. Shafford, another three, too strong. Here's Indiana. Send it to Sandvik. Sandvik stops. She'll pull things back. Garzon's gonna drive right lane. She gets the right-handed finish. Hoosiers up by 3, and we're going to get a timeout called by Rick Stein and the Screaming Eagles. A 7-0 run for Indiana in the last minute 30. A scoreless last 2 minutes for Southern Indiana. Still plenty of basketball left to go. Indiana up by 3. We'll take a break. Welcome back to the fourth quarter. The Hoosiers currently up by 1 possession, a 3-point lead in the 58-55 ball game in this fourth quarter. A very action-filled last couple of minutes, but Indiana trying to take advantage and capitalize on the moment.
It's so loud in here, Kevin. The Indiana fans have come to life and spurred their Hoosiers on to a 3-point lead. And these plays from Garzone up to 14 points on the day, has struggled from deep, 2 for 10. That's not stopping her at all. She knows she's confident and is continuing to put shots up, and now they're starting to fall.
Yeah, getting big minutes by Yarden Garzone, also getting big minutes by Hannah Sandvik.
Chesky back in the game as well with her 4 fouls.
Chesky's got 4 fouls. Garzone also on the floor with 3. Look at the inbound. Here's Saunders working up top. Ralston one-on-one with Moore McNeil. Ralston tries to get a pass down low near the baseline to Gannon, but miscommunication. Another turnover for the Southern Indiana Eagles. That's 12 on the day.
Another thing that I've noticed is Indiana's doing a really good job in this second half of clogging up the passing lanes when it gets inside the arc and then especially inside the paint.
Indiana swinging the ball on the outside. Now they're going to hit Garzone. Now here's Chesky in the corner all alone. Rolls out. Chesky with her own rebound.
Just caught them asleep at the wheel. Chesky gets her own board. That's some fresh life for the Hoosiers.
Indiana wants to slow things down on this possession. They're going to hit Garzone. Now outside. Chesky once again, a 3 on the way. No good. Sandvik and Shafford are battling for it, but the ball's going to go out of play. They're going to send Lily Meister off to the bench. Caroline Strickland will come into the game. Still a 3-point lead for Indiana. Nobody's scored since the timeout. Meredith Rayleigh now spins, uses her body, doesn't get the fall, doesn't get the basket to fall. Five minutes remaining. 35 up, 5 left to go. Garzone hits Strickland. Stripling sends it outside to Chesky. Chesky will take a mid-range jumper, and she gets the finish.
She's feeling it now, Kevin. I mean, just pulling up from anywhere she wants and just seems to fall.
Lead increases to 5 for Indiana. Chesky, that was her 12th point of the night. Ralston goes to the basket. She gets blocked by Moore McNeil. Now Indiana coming the other way, 4-on-5. Sandvik struggles collecting the basketball. She'll hit Strickland. Now it's taken away by Saunders. Bad possession for the Hoosiers. Saunders driving against Sandvik. Uses the backboard, no good. Strickland with the rebound. Indiana probably want to slow things down a little bit.
No doubt. It's been back and forth for the past minute or so.
4 minutes left in this game. Strickland outside to Garzone. Nobody on Garzone. Garzone all alone. Misses the 3. Chesky fights for the rebound, but isn't able to collect it. And goes with the Screaming Eagles. That would have been a huge shot if Yarden Garzone would have been able to make that one connect.
It just slips right out of Chesky's hands. She thought she had it, looked away, and just didn't have it in her hands when she turned back around.
3:35 left. Still Indiana up by 5. Saunders to Buchanan. Buchanan outside to Maddie Webb. Webb in the game as well with 4 fouls. Saunders tried to get a shot off, but she's going to get called for a travel.
Well, I mean, she was smothered. So your instinct is to go look around you, but by the time that you've made that decision, you're already back down on the ground, and there's a travel.
The ball almost slips away from Garzone, and a bad pass by Moore McNeil, but Sandvik's able to come up with it. Garzone on the outside, trying to create space. Moore McNeil bounce pass to Chesky. Chesky all the way across the court to Sandvik. Moore McNeil now drives to the basket outside for Garzone, a big 3. Once again, another missed 3 by Yarden Garzone.
It's 2 for 12 on the day, but the shots she's taking aren't bad shots, I don't think.
A bit of a cold spell for Indiana, but
yeah.
Same goes for Southern Indiana. They haven't scored in the last 5.5 minutes. Saunders spins, uses the right hand, a pretty finish.
That was set up by a screen set on Sandvik, and there was nothing she could do. Couldn't get around it quick enough, and Saunders an easy 2.
That ends the scoring drought. Indiana has gone scoreless for the last 2, and Chesky careless with the basketball. A turnover for the Hoosiers. 12 turnovers for Indiana. Two minutes to go. Hoosiers up by 3. Eagles trying to tie it. Tie it if they can. If not, to cut down the lead to 1. Saunders falls onto the ground. No whistle. Indiana now coming the other way. 2-on-2. Chesky will slow it down, and Indiana calls a timeout.
That's a good spot as ever to call a timeout. You need one right there. Reset everything, get your players settled down, and get a play call out of this.
1:52 left in this ball game. It's been back and forth the entire day. You see the two previous plays, 2 plays ago for Saunders. Spin move just right in front of the basket, gets the finish. Indiana outscoring Southern Indiana 12-6 here in this 4th quarter, but these last 2 minutes are going to tell you a lot about both these teams.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana, the 3-point shooting has been lackluster today. They've taken 28 shots from outside the arc, missed 20 of them. But like you said, they haven't been able to score in the last 3 minutes. Southern Indiana not going away quietly at all.
Another thing for Indiana, just the turnovers. I know Terry Morton wants to limit that a lot, considering they've been in double digits for every game except 1. Their main game, they finished with 9. Every other game, they've been in double-digit turnovers. It's just a lot of the issues that we've seen from the Hoosiers so far this season haven't been so apparent in this ball game today, but you see you still see some of those lingering shadows in their mistakes.
Yeah, you still see shades of some of the stuff that they can get better at. And to their credit, I mean, when you're going up against a tenacious defense like Southern Indiana, we've seen that from them all night. 22 turnovers a game, they've only committed 12. So better, but not where Terry Morin wants to be.
As for Southern Indiana, it's been pretty much cold and dry offensively in this second half. They have a combined 15 points, 9 in the third quarter, 6 in this fourth quarter. That's not really going to do it for you if you want to win this ball game. I mean, you scored, if you combine both your third and fourth, you scored less than that in the first quarter. You see the three-point percentage for both teams. Here are the Hoosiers. 1 minute 40 left in this game. Meister baseline, kicks it out to Moore McNeil. Moore McNeil misses the three. Offensive rebound by Shafford. Now Buchanan down low, one-on-one, goes against Garzone. Now the Hoosiers quickly in transition. Just a one-point game. They send it to Garzone on top of the Big Ten logo, off to the left. Southern Indiana's got a chance. Final 60 seconds, who's gonna win it? Crowd coming onto their feet. A hook shot, no good. Attempted by Maddie Webb, now here's Indiana. We'll see how patient the Hoosiers will be in this possession. Under 40 left to go. Terry Morin's gonna call a timeout.
I think that's smart. You're running, you're halfway through your shot clock. You don't want to burn it too much, and 30 seconds left in this game. Get something drawn up that you maybe worked at this morning and shoot around, and then just go out and execute.
Based on the facial expressions of Terry Morin, she wanted to run something on that possession, but then was forced to call a timeout. But Indiana still scoreless in their last 4 minutes and 14 seconds, just 1 for 7 on their last 7 field goal attempts. So neither team really scoring all that much in this fourth quarter.
Well, to Shea Chesky's credit, obviously not been the biggest shooting threat in this fourth quarter, but she's been able to keep herself on the floor. And her speed is it's very important at this stage in the game. Keep in front of your defender and make sure nothing gets behind you for an easy 2 points.
15 seconds on the shot clock, 34.3 on the game clock. Moore McNeil on the outside. Here's Shea Chesky, a three on the way. Chesky with the clutch three. Timeout, Southern Indiana. The Hoosiers up by 4 with 25 remaining.
Well, as soon as I said it, she hadn't been scoring a ton in this fourth quarter. Finds her spot in the right side corner and just knocks it down. A pure shot from Chesky. That's what you get when you get somebody who has as much experience as she does. Just steps up, steps straight into it. Mechanics don't break down, straight through. Easy 3 points.
15 points on the day for Shea Chesky. That's the most on this Indiana squad, and now she potentially gives the Hoosiers the final shot to close this one out. Still a lot of time left on the clock, 25 seconds, but man, oh man, that was a big time shot.
Well, if you're USI now, you're down 4. Indiana, there's no reason for them to foul at this point. And with the Hoosiers in the spot that they're at, USI, I think you just get a quick 2 here and you foul.
This is where strategy comes into play. What is, like you mentioned, Andrew, what is USI going to do now that they have the ball back in their hands? It's a 2-possession game. They're down by 4 with 25 remaining. It's been back and forth all day. It's been a heck of an entertaining game. Exactly what you kind of envisioned, considering a very strong Indiana team, but equally as strong a mid-major team from the OVC. They'll start from their own half. Here's Ralston. Ralston draws the foul. More McNeil's going to get called for that foul. 22 seconds left. Ralston will take a trip to the line.
And that's fine for Indiana. You know, you can
can
live with that.
You can, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Not a lot of time went off the clock. You force them to go to the free throw line.
Got to be ready for the press after these 2 free throws, though. That's what I got to imagine Southern Indiana's going to do.
First free throw is no good by Ralston. Ralston, 9 points on the day. 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Second one is good. So now it's a 63-60 game. We have another timeout on the floor.
And I can only imagine this is going to be a timeout to discuss how you break the press here. Because if you're Rick Stein, you've got to put pressure on, try and force a turnover, get the stuff that you did in the first half where you were doing that very well. Hasn't been really occurring too much in the second half. Got to bring it back somehow. It's a short timeout, but time enough for both these teams to draw up something.
Southern Indiana went into the half shooting well over 50%, but since then just cutting it down to 45% from the field in this game, which is still really good. It's just you haven't shot that well in this second half. The Eagles just shooting 30%, 7 for 23 since the halftime buzzer. Here's a big play for the Hoosiers. All lined up. We see this a little bit more in college basketball where everybody's lined up and they split to the sides. And they're going to whistle as they get the foul.
Chesky coming into this game 90% from the line on the year, and if you're the Eagles at this point, you don't really have the luxury of deciding who you want to foul, but lucky for them, they're not in the bonus yet.
Indiana will run a similar play, send it all the way back out to Sandvik, and Sandvik is fouled.
The clock never stopped. There it goes. They're going to have to take a look at this. I don't know. That ran a lot of time off the clock. Yeah, they're going to go take a look at this, because the clock didn't stop when the whistle blew. So I'll have a discussion over at the scorer's table, and Terry Morin saying, hey, they have to foul, so let them foul, and then go make your foul shots at the line.
So as the referees get the game clock under control, Indiana talking things over on the floor about what exactly they want to do. Yarden Garzone will throw in the inbound.
Now, if somehow you lose the ball on this inbound, and with the way Southern Indiana's defense has been playing, it is not out of the realm of possibility. I think the correct decision is to foul if you're Indiana, but a clean inbound, that doesn't matter.
Chesky gets fouled by Rayleigh. Took a few seconds off the game clock, but now another inbound from the side for the Hoosiers. Still a one-possession game, 63-60.
No more fouls to give either.
Garzone, I thought the whistle was was for taking too much time, but now the whistle
is Moore McNeil's fourth foul, I think.
Yeah.
No.
It is on Moore McNeil.
It is.
Yeah.
No, I think it's on Rayleigh.
At Rayleigh, the other 22.
Right.
That's that's where we got mixed up.
I didn't hear 22 red. It's.
So here's Chesky.
That's huge.
A big free throw. 64-60. First one's important, but the second one equally as important in this situation for Indiana.
And Morin instructing her team not to foul. That's the smart play.
Chesky makes both of them. She's perfect from the free throw line today, 4 for 4. She's now up to 17 points. Here come the Eagles. And they're going to call an offensive foul.
I didn't get a look at what happened. Let's see.
Austin's been banged up a few times today.
This has been a physical game, to say the least.
Actually, excuse me, not an offensive foul.
They'll change
be
it.
A foul called on Ralston, yeah.
I think they might have swapped the call, but yeah, foul on
Now to
Ralston.
Moore McNeil. Moore McNeil's going to get fouled, and
one of these should ice it.
I was going to say, she'll go to the line with the chance to seal things up in this ball game. Moore McNeil going to the line with 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Just took a 1-on-1 free throw earlier in the ball game. Here's their second of the night. The lefty misses on the first. Moore McNeil with the second one. She's up to 12 points. Only 13 seconds left to work with for Southern Indiana. Saunders, a three. Saunders gets the three. Still a one-possession game. Eagles will foul quickly against Moore McNeil. 8 seconds on the clock, 66-63.
A tough shot from Saunders, but now you put Moore McNeil at the line again, who's been good from the stripe. But a nice step back, or a sidestep shot that just finds the bottom of the barrel. And free throws, they're just, these are as important as any.
She gets the first. Indiana, this is their 25th and their 26th free throw attempt of the night. Second one, no good. 4-point game. Saunders coming up across half court. Saunders nowhere to go. Saunders will throw a three. Missed everything, and that'll do it. The buzzer goes off, and the Hoosiers escape and win this ball game 67-63.
Well, credit to Southern Indiana. They played them really close all the way to the end, had a dominant first half, but Indiana, the home crowd, helped a ton. And that second half, like you see, 38-21 in the final half of play, and whew, shots at the right time for Indiana.
Yeah, it was just, that's the story of this game, is the lack of offense for Southern Indiana in that second half. But credit to the Hoosiers, scoring 19 points in both the third and the fourth quarter. But you also got to give credit for Indiana, just how much they came back. It really, at halftime, you kind of felt like this was going to be some trouble for the Hoosiers, but they were able to get it all back together in the second.
Yeah, you absolutely did. And you look at the score breakdown through quarters, and 25-12, like we mentioned earlier, and then you hold them to 9 points in that third quarter. That's where everything switched for Indiana and Terry Morin's squad. And then you start making shots on the offensive end, everything goes well, and then you close it out in the fourth quarter. You outscore your opponent by 7 points, and all's well that ends well. But that first half, they have a lot to learn from that first half for sure.
So the Hoosiers improved to 6-3 on the year. That's their second win in a row. Last Sunday, they took the 78-53 win over Maine. As for Southern Indiana, that snaps their 6-game winning streak. They were 7-1 entering this game and winners of their last 6, but now they fall down to 7-2. But you got to give all the credit in the world. That is a very, very good Southern Indiana team that's going to give a lot of problems to the OVC conference, not just for this season, but for the future to come.
Yeah, I mean, and in 26, 27, they're going to be eligible for NCAA tournament play. Could turn some heads there too, but this is a really well-coached team, like you said.
The leading scorer of the day for the Hoosiers, Shea Chesky, and right behind her is Yarden Garzone with 14 points, Chloe Moore McNeil with 13, but Chesky, the player of the game, with 17 points, as Kara Adams is now courtside with Shea Chesky.
Shea, you guys were down by 13 at the half. What did it take to come back and get this win tonight?
Just pure grit. I think halftime we made a lot of adjustments, but honestly we just wanted it more that second half, and that's really all that matters.
You yourself are such a gritty player, and you had a big three, some key free throws down the line that last 30 seconds. How good did that feel?
That felt really good, especially when we got that dub. So good.
What does it say about this team that you guys know you can close out close games?
Man, it says everything. You know, the fourth quarters are always the biggest, and I mean, I think we got a good start going into Big Ten play.
All right, thanks, Shay. Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kara. There's Shea Chesky, the first-year Hoosier after coming over from Penn State. And actually, speaking of Penn State, the Hoosiers, that's their next matchup. Their first Big Ten game of the season will be this upcoming Saturday, December 7th, as they go over to Happy Valley. But once again, Andrew, just a very, very good performance for the Hoosiers as they're able to come back and win this one. As Kara mentioned, down by 13 at halftime.
Yeah, and a statement comeback win. First time they played Southern Indiana. You hope that this game gets played more often because that was a fun one to watch, Kevin.
We've had a lot of fun ones in Assembly Hall this year. This one definitely crosses all the boxes. Will the Hoosiers a comeback victory in this game against the Southern Indiana Eagles? 67-63, your final from Assembly Hall. For Kevin Vera, Andrew Hilsman, Kara Adams, we say so long.